Hello, boxing fan. This is Julio Gomez, your host of the channel Boxing Regular Fan, JG4420. Before we start today, our lesson number 4 on boxing for beginners, I would like to remind you guys to please, subscribe to our channel, Boxing Regular Fan, JG4420 on YouTube. It's free, and by doing that, we're going to be keeping you informed of any of our new videos and any activity that we might have through our boxing, channel. Uh, this is like I said, this is the beginning. This is boxing for beginners. We have done so far, lesson number 1, lesson number 2, and last week we did lesson number 3. Once again, it's all for beginners, but anybody's welcome to take the class. It's all virtual for now. It's not you don't have to be in our gym to do it. But this is all you should take advantage of this. It's all virtual. We do it on videos. If you follow the instructions, weekly lesson. I'm sure if you follow through and you do your homework, it's a great chance that you're going to master some of the concepts that we're trying to share with you on this and to this channel. Now, don't forget that boxing, you're not going to learn boxing in 1 day lesson, not even in 2 day lesson. It's going to take the dedication. It's going to take it all depends on you basically. What I'm trying to share with you is the basic fundamentals that if you learn it and you try and you do it right and you do your homework, it is definitely going to take you to the next level. Boxing is a great sport. It helps everybody of any age to keep you active. At the same time, it will definitely increase your level of confidence. Most of the people that are not confident, on fighting or getting into any altercations. But by learning this basic self-defense through boxing, you're gonna feel much better. I can guarantee you that. This is no way to. It's not but if you follow this if you take this class for beginners, at the end of the sections, you're gonna feel much better. Okay, and I'm sure some of you guys are ready feeling it because 3 lessons already, going to number 4. If you have already if you're following our instructions and doing your homework, because this is not a one-shot deal. Whoever tells you that you're going to be learning, boxing in 1 lesson or 2, it might not be, this is not going to happen. Boxing, it takes years of practice, of self-discipline. But once you fall in love with it, you're not going to let it go. You're going to make boxing part of you, boxing has become a very popular sport throughout the world. And it's been practiced because it's been practiced around the world, you name it, from the furthest part of Africa, Europe, Asia, Latin America, I mean, you name it. It's been practiced by a lot of people, and every day it becomes more popular. And one of the simple reasons why it becomes more popular is because, cases like this, a scenario like this, you don't have to have a big place to practice sport and this sport. You can take a small spot in your garage, or your backyard, and you can practice. You can start learning boxing by yourself, by your own, just by watching this kind of classes for beginners, and then you can expand as you go. If you want to go and visit, a gym, to go in person for personal training, or private lesson with for the different level. But for now, if you learn the basics that we're going to be teaching here, and I know you're getting it, you're going to feel much better. Okay, so let's go straight. I normally like to expand a little bit in different topics and talk because It takes not only your physical, involvement to learn a new thing in life, but you also need to have your mental to be incorporated into it, so you can really understand, what is going on or why you're learning, what's the physics behind, why you got to do this and why you have to do that. So it's good to talk, a little bit, so you guys can can understand a little bit better what the sport is all about. Okay. We have, and as a review, I always like to review as a good teacher. I think I am. I like to review what we have learned so far. Okay. First, we talk about the standing in boxing. What is going to be your standing? I call the guard. What is your guard? Universally, it's called your stand. Whether you're righty or lefty, that's part number one. And I always emphasize a guard or stand is so crucial, because for you to be successful as a learner and as you progress in the sport, if you don't have established your guard, you're not going to be as successful as somebody that already grabbed it from lesson one. The reason why is because if you're going to be into an altercation, a confrontation, or you're being attacked or you want to attack, if you don't have the form, if you don't have your proper guard, intact as you're moving forward or backward, without keeping your form, you're not going to be able to perform the way you're supposed to perform. Okay? And so guards number one, and also all of them are important. Guard, footwork is even more important. Mastering footwork. What is footwork? It's the way is the art of moving around the floor when the ring, is the art of moving. Remember, boxing is an art. It's a sweet science, an art. If you really pay attention to it, everything in boxing is calculated. When you really learn boxing, when you really pay attention and watch those guys, the top of the line boxers, elite, you can learn, you can sit down and watch the way they perform, how they execute the offense, how they execute the defense, how do they move, how do they place themselves on the floor. And all the movement is not because to move and to waste it, the energy, every step, every motion of the body, any fake movement, everything is calculated in boxing. You will learn that as you go further to different levels. But for now, like I said, this is boxing for beginners. Okay, so footwork would allow you to move, to displace yourself around the floor the correct way without losing the form, without losing your guard, okay? Without losing your stand. See, one thing's connected to another. Stand first, walk, or footwork without losing your form. See, I'm walking forward and keeping my form all the time, keeping my form. You can go back, you can go forward, you can go sideways, you can go the other way. All that. So that's part two. The three part, number three, there was now the introduction of the punches. Okay? But universally, there's basically 6 punches. The other coaches, there are other coaches around that they have more than they have like 12 different punches. But in my understanding, my academy, I teach the guy only the 6 fundamentals, and from there, any variation of those punches, you can call any numbers. Any coach, they call them